morning, I wish to address my mind to the impending Namara motion in the Parliament, which intends to amend the Administration of Parliament Act, where the import of this motion is that the entire Parliament should participate in the election of a leader of the opposition. Uganda is not an island. Uganda is a member of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, to which it belongs, and in which all those countries that claim to subscribe to democracy and the rule of law have set standards, set procedures that every member state must follow. In this association, the role and the person of a leader of opposition is chosen by the party which has the highest membership in opposition. It is the role of that leadership to send the name to Parliament just to receive and not to elect. Therefore, I am again surprised that after the Honorable Lumu attempted such a move a few years ago, which move he, at the end of the day, withdrew, is again resurfacing under a new arrangement. Surely, how can NRM participate in election of leadership of opposition, which is meant to hold government in power accountable? This is comparable to a person say, yes, I'm the referee, and at the same time I want to be the goalkeeper. Who will identify your faults? If you are the referee and at the same time you want to be a goalkeeper, who will detect your faults? So I think that's a move which is going to alienate Uganda globally as far as multi-party dispensation is concerned. Because I've never seen this happen anywhere, not even in the neighboring countries, not even in Kenya, not Tanzania, not in Rwanda, where such kind of things happen. I had my experience when I was chairman of Public Accounts Committee of Parliament. I used to move to these neighboring countries. I remember in Rwanda, there were very few members of Parliament in opposition, I think 1 or 2. But at the same time, Parliament had to respect the position under Commonwealth Parliamentary Association that a person who chairs an accountability committee must come from the opposition. And my colleague on the other side was a loner, just like in Ethiopia. In Ethiopia, we also had one opposition member, and he was the chairman of the Public Accounts Committee. The government was able to respect that position of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association. So I appeal to the leadership of Parliament that sanity and reason prevails, because we are not inventing a wheel in having leader of the opposition elected by the party with the majority number in the Parliament. That you see, Right Honorable or both, a person whom I respect, should be able to really appeal to his conscience and find out whether this motion is in a good spirit. At the same time, I also want to appeal to the members of Parliament, especially those in the NRM. They may be enjoying the majority number today, but you never know what happens tomorrow, because there is nothing which is permanent in this world. You heard of the Roman Empire, you heard of Oyo Empire, you heard of Asante Empire in Ghana, and these were very powerful kingdoms, institutions. But what happened to them? What is the Roman Empire? Roman Empire which controlled the world, the whole of Asia, Middle East, and Europe. The Roman Empire was an empire to be reckoned with. But what happened? Where is it now? So, the same thing can also happen to NRM. In which case they should now begin to imagine that tomorrow, when they are the ones, should the same rule apply? If by any chance it goes through. And for the few members in opposition, it is not the numbers that matter. It is the indelible ink that you leave for posterity to judge you. I appeal to them to very fiercely fight this battle with the words on the floor of Parliament, so that the Hansard will be vindicated at the end of the day. Because I think the problem here is that people who are in the majority party think that they can do anything to get their way through. But every action is equally an opposing act that works in its direction. In which case, therefore, if the few members of the opposition are able to be on a record opposing viciously this motion, I think that will be the best gift they will have left for this country, which will remain on the record for future to judge us accordingly. I also want to appeal to Honorable Namara. Honorable Namara is not a new member of Parliament. He has been a member of the East African Legislative Assembly. He has had that exposure of knowing how other countries that practice democracy work. How I wish he could reflect back and be able to positively bring what he has gained out of the Arusha Parliament to enrich positivity in the Ugandan Parliament, rather than work against the institution that is supposed to put the government to account. I know right now there is a lot of fear in Parliament. Even the few opposition members are not able to rise to the occasion and be able to be heard because of the fear that they may be on the list for candidature in the basement school to learn languages. So the moment you accept to go to Parliament, Parliament as an institution, which derives its name from the French word le palier, the house where people talk. I appeal to you, few as you are, members of the opposition, talk. Because not many of us are privileged to have that platform to talk and be heard. Talk, be on a record. Equally so, my colleague General Mugisha Muntu has made a wider appeal, especially to the religious institutions. When a religious leader talks from the pulpit, nobody questions. You are a religious leader, you are a shepherd of the flock, and the flock must be kept alive. If you continue to keep quiet, where else do the flock look to? So I think we all have a role as a people in this country to make sure that we make Uganda a safe and a better place for all of us to live. We have no other country that we can call ours, that to which we belong. We are all Ugandans. We all need to work harmoniously to ensure that this country prospers. And this can only happen if there can be respect of rule of law, and if people can be allowed to express themselves. If you can't allow people to talk, and you want them to die in silence, then what kind of democracy are we in? What kind of democracy are we in? So those are the challenges that we collectively have to rise to. Fourth estate, you are our key allies. You are the people who have got a wider voice. Using the electronic media, you can reach any part of the globe. None of us can reach. Without you, we can't reach out to the people. But with you and your technical expertise, you can reach a wider population. You can reach the whole world. Please, don't abandon your work. Don't shy away from your work. Continue doing the benevolent work that you have always done. Collectively and jointly, we can work and make Uganda a better place for all. I thank you.
It's not the route we should take anymore. A country must reach a point where it breaks out of a vicious cycle. That has always been our hope. But when you look at the current situation, like the situation with Dr. Chiza recently, he's still in prison. Now it's more than 400 days. The Constitution provides for automatic granting of bail after 180 days. That has completely been ignored. They have clamped down on the lawyers, like Honorable Martha Karua, who has been banned from coming to the country. She was the lead lawyer. And then, of course, the Lord Mayor, Elias Nkwago, having also been on the team of lawyers, and then himself facing a similar problem. Doctors have recommended, because of his health, for him to be released on bail. That's still being problematic. We have cases like recently the case of Honorable Mohammed Mwanga Chibumbi, released on bail and then literally abducted. Unless information has come in as of yesterday, even the security service themselves seem to be denying knowledge of his whereabouts. Police is saying they don't know where he is. Clips have shown that he was stopped at the roadblock. It's over a week. It's over a week since that happened. Those in power really need to wake up. That's a route we have taken before. And it read us no good. In the 60s, those who read history, in the 70s, in the 80s. Whatever mistakes the regime has made, one would have hoped that one direction we should never take anymore would be the abuse of power. The nature of deception and manipulation that has now been built into the culture, deep in the politics. We all need to wake up. Those in power need to recognize that we've said this over and over. Let me repeat. They need to recognize that there's going to be a point when they won't be back. That happens all the time. Globally, history has shown that no regime stays in power until the end of time. We need to recognize that. And therefore, we'll keep on urging as we raise these issues, as we expose the nature of the abuse of power. At the same time, we keep on urging those who are in government, Museveni being the president, that the country deserves better. We are 47 million people. Whatever extent you may want to hang on to power, you have to recognize that there is a population, 47 million people. It's increasing in numbers. So we also call upon the population. One, not to allow themselves to be plunged into a state of hopelessness, because that's what the regime wants. These abductions that happen are all purpose to instill fear in the population. Because when there is a population which is cowed, then it almost becomes a carte blanche for those in power to do whatever they want. So the only way we can shape a future which is better than where we are, if nobody should allow themselves to be cut down, not speak to power, not to raise issues which are necessarily being raised in the country. Religious leaders need to be bold and speak. People who are in business need to, through their associations, to make it clear that the lines with a government should not cross. Because even those who are in business, normally business fears to get involved in politics. But business also need to understand that they have a stake in the stability of the country, in the rule of law. Because if the recklessness that we see that is happening is allowed to continue growing, even they themselves will have a price to pay down the road where we are heading. I've seen happening in the past. We need to avoid that. The professional bodies, they should be firm. Because when many more people keep speaking, then those in power who thought that fear or using the tools of the national state security apparatus to create fear, they will know that they have failed. And that therefore creates the atmosphere that will enable us to have change, which is inevitable, change will happen, but change which is stable, so the country remains stable as well. So we'll keep speaking on these issues over and over, hoping that at some point, even those who are in the ruling party, NRM, can mount pressure on the top leader, the members of parliament of NRM, the SEC of NRM, the elected leaders of NRM, LC5s, LC3s, they are the majority, and the youth wing of NRM, because they all need to learn from history. All regimes which collapse, those who've been in power always pay a price. None of us would want to repeat what has happened in the past. We would be so short-sighted to allow this situation to keep degenerating to that point. No one wants to go that direction again. So we'll keep on speaking these issues. They are not partisan issues. These are issues which affect all of us as a people, as a country. My hope really is that those in NRM should even be more bold than us in the opposition. Because one, they hold the majority opposition in leadership position. I can imagine if, for example, LC5 chairpersons all over this country, they have got the association. If they sat and said, no, there's a line we cannot cross. If those members of parliament also sat and did the same thing, we cannot allow a few individuals to plunge this country into what none of us would desire to go into. So the NRM leaders must know that it is their responsibility as well, that they cannot let the country be run down by individuals, that they have got much of a responsibility as the rest of us. We have to protect our future. That's the bottom line. The NRM leaders in parliament really need to be more bold than they have been so far. If they don't wake up and down the road anything happens, they should know that they have to bear the highest form of responsibility, because they've got the majority voice in parliament. Good enough, when a situation deteriorates to a certain point, all regimes, tendencies emerge. There's nowhere where a regime has reached a point of collapse when there wouldn't have been tendencies which emerged internally. Therefore, our hope is that the tendency in the regime, in NRM, which is getting more and more bold, we should grow further and further in terms of influence, so they can influence this situation to a better direction. For us, it is our role. It is part of what we've been involved in. It is nothing new. We will continue doing that. And we will encourage those who are in NRM to do so as well. Not on partisan basis, but as a people. Want to live in a country where there is sanity. We cannot allow this level of insanity to keep growing deeper and deeper. We don't want to pay the price as a country, as has happened before. We thank you, ladies and gentlemen of the press, for having come to cover this press conference in our new hope.
Thank you. And now let's hear from the national process is rolled out throughout the country. We have been able to nominate our candidates in some places for LC1 elections, and the process of compiling is going on. Yesterday, I think we received the submission from parts of Isoga, and then we also received some submissions from parts of Midwestern. So it's a process that is going on. At this stage, what of course is surprising us is the same tradition of dishing out money has been cascaded to the lower levels also. We thought that LC1 is really about basic service to this country, basic service to community. But we are quite surprised that already the NRM candidates are splashing money like they are contesting for, I don't know, presidency or whatever. So there is a lot of lawlessness that is already showing up in the LC1 election. So, but we appeal to Ugandans that at that level, the caliber of people you need is people of integrity, people who are selfless, people who mean to serve at that level, not just people who are thinking about transactional politics. And I believe that going by the nature of the candidates we have already made available in different communities, the right picks should be the ANT candidates. If they vote for money, then the ANT candidates may not have the money to buy voters. But if they are looking for people of integrity at that level, we have already placed some of them. Our coverage is not as big. We don't have them all over the country. Going by the challenges we already have, going by the incomplete work and building our structures. So we don't have them all over the country. But we believe that those that we have proposed, that have been nominated, should be able to highlight the type and the quality of leadership that we are able to offer this country. We are also concerned that our level of preparedness for this process suffered a lot of setbacks. You know that these LC1 elections have been announced, I don't know, 4 or 5 times. This is the 5th time, I think. So you prepare, you put teams on the alert, then the Electoral Commission and somebody in government just don't bring out this. But we want to deal with the misinformation that is going on right now. We've been listening to NRM leaders. They are telling people, you see, if you don't vote for NRM, you will miss out on services. Really, that's not fair. That is disingenuous. That is unacceptable. Why? One, we are building a multi-party dispensation. 2, the money that is being used for PDM and any other money is not from NRM party headquarters. That money is coming from Ugandan taxpayers. And therefore, your LC1, whether it comes from any other political party or even you, the potential beneficiary, you should not be denied your right because you don't subscribe for NRM. We saw this, subscribe to NRM. We saw this during the elections also. People were being told in the northern part of the country, you will not get back cows if you don't vote for President Museveni. People voted, the cows have refused to come. So this kind of continuous lying and duping of the unsuspecting population should be stopped, and NRM should be honest. They have failed to deliver their promises, deliver on their promises to this country. And therefore we appeal to people. This is actually an opportunity for a grassroots revolution against the NRM lies to start. It could start with this LC1 election. Thank you. Let me ask. Okay.
Well, thank you very much, our Secretary General, the leadership of the party, members of the press. A lot has been said, but mine is just a brief one. I just want to accept this appointment with humility and deep sense of responsibility. As a spokesperson, my task is to clearly communicate the ANT vision, putting people first. We are not just building a political party for the next election cycle. We are building a strong organization lasting with that with lasting national transformation built on institutional values, integrity, and rule of law, like you've just heard here, our seniors have talked about very many issues that are happening in our country to do with rule of law. A lot is going on in our country. So as the ANT, we believe in rule of law. And our biggest task now is to talk and communicate our positions on such matters. So I look forward to working with you, the press, to articulate the policies and the grassroots progress of the Alliance for National Transformation. You know, we believe in institutional building, we believe in structures. So we shall keep in time trying to update you on what we are doing as the Alliance for National Transformation. So please, our door is always open. Let's keep on working together, members of the press, so that you know what is happening in the Alliance for National Transformation. I'm going to make sure that that door is always open for you. And I believe we shall have a very good working relation in order the country it can understand more what we are doing and what we are dealing with as the Alliance for National Transformation. Our national coordinator has even stated it here clearly that without you, the fourth estate, we cannot do anything. So please, I look forward to working with you always, and please keep us in your daily programs. I know you have a lot, but we shall be communicating to you on different occasions and when we feel need be to communicate to the country and also interact with you. So I thank you, all of you, and I thank the party, and also thank God for this opportunity. It's not an easy task to speak for the Alliance for National Transformation, the party that strongly believes in integrity, strong values, but I believe with God and all your support, we shall do this and put our country first. Thank you. Well, like our senior leaders have talked about the rule of law in this country. And we have, you know, as a country, we cannot just operate like that without any sense of direction. Where a media house, you wake up in the morning and it is ordered to close without any clear due process or any reason, but it is just ordered by individuals. And there's nothing, no communication, no one is talking, everyone is quiet. So we call upon government, let's try to respect institutions. Let's allow independent bodies, let's allow independent agencies to operate. We all know the nation media is a private entity that is paying taxes in this country, that is employing our young people who are unemployed, because as a country, we are grappling with the biggest number of unemployment. It's employing our biggest number of our youth and boys and girls, and you wake up and just close it without any clear explanation. So as the Alliance for National Transformation, we call upon for the clear explanation. And also, if there is nothing, due process be taken and the nation media be open, because we want free space for the press. Let's allow the press to exercise its mandate. Let's allow Ugandans to exercise their freedom of speech. Let's allow every institution to operate.
Mbanize aba fourth estate headquarters zaffe empya wetuli kati tutudde ndiwujja olina tukyalina ebizibu mu ggwanga lyaffe. Mu mbeera yaffe ng'abantu bw'oba okuza otuusiza emyaka 60, oba oli musajja oba oli mukazi, otambula oyogera nga olina ebintu by'okoze bikuusa. bw'oba oli ku myaka 63 ne bakulaba ng'okola ebintu ebyekito bateeka okumanya nti olina ekizibu ekiri eggwanga lyaffe lituusiza emyaka 63 kasooka tufune obwetwaze naye tulabika ng'abakyayawo yeggwanga tetwandisanidde kudda mu bintu ate bye twayita mu 6 mu 7 mu 8 ebintu ebyokunyigiriza abantu ebyatuviiramu ebizibu ne crisis zetwayitamu edda twandisanidde okuba abantu abategeera okusinga bwe twayingira mu mbeera ey'obwetwaze ensobi ezaakolebwa mu 6 mu 7 mu 8 twandibadde nga tuyize lessons ne tutadda mu bintu ebisobola okututwala ate mu mbeera gye tutandiyagadde okuyingiramu ate ng'eggwanga. Obukulembeze kintu kikulu kubanga abakulembeze basalawo ensonga nnyingi ezireetera abantu okubeera n'essuubi, abantu okweyagalira mu ggwanga naye abakulembeze bwe bakola ensobi ezireetera abantu okuwulira nga banyigirizibwa kintu kye tuteeka okuteekako essira nga tukivumirira. N'olwekyo tusaba buli muntu yenna waali abakulembeze b'amadiini buvunaanyizibwa bwabwe okwogera okulaba nti tetusigala mu kkubo mwe tutambulira kati erimu obuseerezi obw'amaanyi. Bw'olaba emateeka engeri gye gamenye gavumenti ezenga emenya amateeka ag'obuntu human rights takizabe gyali eri mu kkomera maze ebinaku kati ezisuka mu 400 and something things almost 500 eteeka semateeka agamba nti omuntu bw'atuuse ennaku 108 ateebwa ekuliko ki okwakulizako ekyo bakivaako. Abaali bawoza emisango gye ng'omukyala ow'ekitiibwa Karwa bamugaana okudda mu Uganda kubanga tasobola kudda. Honorable Elias Lukwago, Lord Mayor, yali ku ttiimu yaki abawoza omusango ogwo ogwa Dr. Kiza Besigye ne Rutare yakwatibwa n'ateekawo omusango mulwadde. Abasawo recommendation yaabwe egamba nti afune obujjanjabi, ekyo bagaanira okukikola. Honorable Muhammad Muwanga Kivundi Rubata bamukwata ate n'ateebwa ku beero ate ne kubaako incident eyabaddewo okumukwata kati tekuliko amanyi waali. Poliisi egamba nti tebamanyi, amagye gagamba tebamanyi. Abantu abali mu gavumenti ebyo byemukola byali bikoleddwako eddako, bona abaabikola tebakyaliwo ate enkomerero yaabwe teyali nnungi. N'olwekyo bintu byetuteeka okuvumirira buli muntu yenna waali, kubanga omanyi ekireetera abanakyemalira okukola ensobi nga basigala nga bakola ensobi ne batazza bigere mabega bwe babeera n'endowooza nti kye bakola okuleeta okutya tikikoze. Naye bwe bagezaako okukola kyonna ekisoboka naye abantu ne basigala nga boogera nga tebatidde bamanya nti bakoze eki, tibalemeddwa. Ate okutaasa abantu abangi bwe bavaayo ne kubako abantu 1,000, 2,000, omutwalo, emitwalo 10 abakulembeze buli kitundu kyonna nga boogera n'abali mu NRM mwennyini ne bagamba nedda eryo kkubo tetusaanidde okukwata ekkubo ate omulundi omulala ekkubo ekyamu kyekinaatutaasa ng'eggwanga obutasigala nga tutambula mu kkubo abali mu gavumenti ebakutte. Okuzukusa General Museveni kwe kubeera n'abantu wonna we muli institutions oba associations aba lawyers, abasawo, engineers, abasuubuzi, ab'amadiini, cultural institutions, buli muntu yenna okuvaayo ne bavumirira ebyo n'ebintu. Buli Museveni n'alyoka n'azukuka n'amanya nti tuli miliyoni 47 kubanga si lya muntu omu yekka. Ate abavubuka okusingira kimu ddala abo bali mu NRM, njagala njogerere ku bavubuka abali mu NRM kubanga NRM eri mu lukiiko future gye tulaga gye tugenda abali mu myaka 2-3 lwe tugenda okutuuka myaka 5 bagenda kutuuka myaka 5 tugenda kwa miliyoni 10. Kati bwe tutuuka mu miliyoni ezo 10 nga culture eno tetugirwanyisizza ne tugiwangula ne tugisaanyaawo ne kubaako culture empya, eggwanga okutambulizibwa ku mateeka, ne kubaako respect, buli muntu nga respectinga munne, ate n'ebizibu ebiriyo bye tulimu kati ebyeyongera bweyongezi mu maaso wajja kubaawo wabi okusinga na kati we tuli. N'okyo tusaba n'abo abali mu NRM kubanga ekizibu kino kye tulimu si kya opposition, nedda si kya opposition. Bulijjo gavumenti bwe zivaako obubi ate abasinga okubeera n'ebizibu nga gavumenti efunye ebizibu n'abo babeera mu gavumenti bafuna ebizibu. Abantu abakulu bakimanyi, abali mu UPC bakimanyiiko, abali mu military regime yamini bakimanyiiko. N'olwekyo njagala abali mu NRM okumanya nti okulwanyisa obulwadde obwo obuyingidde obutambuzibwa abantu abatono nabo kijja kuba affectinga bwe tuba nga tetubugonjodde. Ate okubugonjoola kiva mu abantu okuba abavumu ne boogera ne bagamba nedda eno line tecrossingwa, ne bwobeera president ne bwobeera ani. Kubanga tuli bantu bangi, si ggwanga lya muntu yenna wano. Ebya LC1 bye tuyingiddemu ekisaanidde okutweraliikiriza ffenna ng'Abannayuganda era culture esaanidde okutweraliikiriza. Omuntu afuna alawansi y'omutwalo gumu n'ateeka miliyoni 10, 15, 20 okuvuganya ekifo, aluubirira ki? Kyo kisooka okusanga omuntu kubanga ekyalo kirimu abantu bameka 5 oba 100, abantu 5 oba 100, n'osanga nti kati bagenda namukola ki okukubisa ebifaananyi ng'oli ku kyalo. Abantu 5 baba nga tebakumanyi onoonya ki mukulembeze kubanga eyo expert. Culture eno egenda kutusaanyaawo bannyawa ne bassewo bwe tuba nga tugirwanyisizza ne tugiwangula. Twenyigire mu nsonga zino ate nga bwe tuyita mu bino bye tulimu ebyekiseera buseera bwe ndowooza nze bino ebizibu bye tulimu bya kiseera. N'olwekyo buli muntu yenna ayagala kumanya nti mu maaso gye tulaga wasaanidde okuba awalungi okusinga bwe tuli. Temugwamu maanyi, tusigale nga tuzimba okulaba nti guruupu yonna eneeba efunye omukisa Katonda ng'ayagadde agitaddeko omukono n'eyingira obufuzi, eteeka okuyingira nga yeeteeseteese kwera cleaning up, bakiyita okwera. Eggwanga lino lyagala to be cleaned up, lirongoosa n'olwekyo nga bwe tuluubirira nga tulaga gye tulaga enkyukakyuka weeneebeerawo groups zonna eziri mu projects sigale nga zizimba kapasite eyo ey'okwera oba ey'okulongoosa tetusobola we can't survive. We cannot survive as a people. Tetusobola what do I call that? How surviving as a people? Surviving. Ojja kuba wagenda kweraliikiriza nnyo omuntu afuna allowance ya mutwalo gumu n'ateeka miliyoni 2 mu kalulu kisaanidde okulaga obuvundu obuli mu ggwanga lyaffe era okutuula ku bbali ne tubireka awo kubanga ye problem gye tulina kati the abnormal has been normalized. The abnormal has been normalized. Ebikyamu bifuuse ebituufu tetukyabifaako kubanga ekintu ng'ekyo kisaanidde okutweraliikiriza nnyo kubanga corruption ebadde eriwo eri waggulu teyanditweraliikiriza nnyo yandibadde enyanga okukola ki okulongoosa naye bwetuukira kimu ddala ku mirandira kwennyini tekubaako omuntu asirika kulwanyisa ebizibu bye tulimu kati. As a party we were there.
Yes, will you be part of?
We have leaders. If High Court Summit invites Alliance for National Transformation to become part of High Court, Alliance for National Transformation is ready to participate in the processes of IMO because we believe in institutions building. And in spite of the challenges that there are, and we know there's a number of weaknesses within the High Court. We've had discussions within the Alliance for National Transformation for the team that will participate at different levels, at the Council, as also at the Summit, to bring out our views on how reforms need to be done within the High Court. If it functions well and they rectify the errors of the past, it could be a beginning point of moving this country back on track. We hope that there will be goodwill on the side of those who are in power. We'll wait and see. They say the taste of the pudding is in the eating. When the party is in there, we will be able to read whether there is goodwill or not. And we'll keep on reporting the country according to the observations that would have been made at the different levels.
If you happen to face President Museveni from that summit, which issues will you leave without telling him physically?
We will sit as a party once the engagement starts at council as well as summit, and we will present our views as a party. So I cannot start presenting my views as a person. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Eno message okusinga agiwa abavubi abali ku nnyanja kuba nange kenyini ndi muvubi kino kitukwatako bwe twali mu campaign wonna we tuwatambula natambula ne pulezidenti wange pulezidenti waffe w'ekibiina ku myalo ne ku bizinga eby'enjawulo kinkwatako ng'akulidde ku nnyanja kinkwatako ng'omuvubi kubanga obuvubi bwe bumbeezezzaawo wadde ndirooya ne community gyesinga okutegeera y'abavubi essaawa eno amagye gaavaako baasooka ne bagajjako mu kalulu olw'okufuna obuwagizi ne bagazzaako naye mu kugazzaako baagazzaako n'obukwakkulizo obunyigiriza abavubi okutuuka okuba nti n'essaawa eno olw'okuba bambi bo tebalina bwogerero okwandibadde ng'okwetuga oba tucommit suicide bo beesuula mu nnyanja tukuyita kwetu. Omuntu akeera ku makya n'atunuulira nga takyalina gyadda n'akeera n'akwata eryato lino n'abuuka mu nnyanja. Tebalina media eri openinga ffe wano nti ebintu bimanyika nti amagye ge batwala ku nnyanja gateekawo obukwakkulizo. Neewuunya gavumenti yaffe okuba nti etuuse n'okupimira omuvubi ki kyateeka okukola. Mpozi nga nja kubuuzaako mukama wange yabadde mu magye ebbanga, simanyi oba mu magye mulimu ettendekero, mwateekayo ettendekero eriyigiriza okuvuba, kubanga kati weewuunya nti Deputy CDF yagenda ku nnyanja ng'abuulira abantu ekyokukola. Right now babawadde nti buli mwalo beetaagako amaato 65 gokka, naye nga community gye bagamba eriko nga amaato ng'ebikumi 5 oba 600. So osuubira abantu abalala basigaddewo bagenda kukola Mukene yalekewaawo okuvubibwa, naye kati bw'oteekawo ng'ekyokulabirako ku mwalo ekiyindi, wajja omu South Africa omuzungu ng'azze ku cage farming n'agivaako n'atandika okugula abantu ku mwalo kwonna, sinakubagula ng'abagoba bugobi, nti yava mu cage farming n'atandika n'aleeta ebyato ebivuba emisana n'ekiro. Mukene now pushing thousands of people out of business. That is my concern. Ekyo nakyo abali mu gavumenti babeere nga bakirowoozaako.
Ensonga ezisinga bazoogeddeko. Ekisooka ekigendererwa kya press conference yaffe ya leero, twayagadde bannamawulire n'eggwanga mutegeere amaka gaffe amapya wano Erungujja, era we tujja okusangibwa kubanga programs nyingi ze tulina ng'ekibiina ze tugezaako okutambuza mu ggwanga okulaba nga tuzimba ekibiina okuviira ddala wansi ku musingi ekigenda okulaba nga kiyimirira kiwanirira eggwanga lino, kubanga ngeri bakulu bannange bagambye mbwe eggwanga lyaffe ebintu ebisinga bifudde, buli omu tamanyi kiddako. Naye ffe nga Alliance for National Transformation tuweereza eggwanga essuubi mu bye tukola byebyo ng'eggwanga bye twagala okulaba eggwanga lyaffe we ligenda. Kyova olaba obudde obusinga tubumalira mu kuzimba abakulembeze abo abagenda okubeera mu institutions ez'enjawulo ez'eggwanga oba eza gavumenti okulaba nga tuwanirira eggwanga lyaffe. Era tubanjulidde amaka gaffe era ne tubagamba gali open magule ku buli omu, buli Munnayuganda naddala mmwe abamemba bannamawulire okulaba nga mujja twetaanya ensonga ez'enjawulo ezigenda mu maaso mu ggwanga lyaffe. Era ekyokubiri ne tubanjulira obukulembeze bwaffe kubanga ffe tukkiririza mu ssemateeka, era ssemateeka yaffe ey'ekibiina etulambika bulungi engeri gye tufunamu obukulembeze bwaffe. Abasinga mumanyi nga jeno muntu nga ye mukulu w'ekibiina, naye ffe constitution ssemateeka yaffe etugamba omuntu bwe yeesimba ku bwa president ekibiina bw'aba alina ekifo mu kibiina akiwaayo n'asobola okugenda okukola ki okwesimba ku bwa president n'alekera abantu abalala. Era twagala kwebaza omukyala Alice Alaso Honorable abadde akwatiridde ekibiina kino kuva jeno muntu bwe yawaayo n'agenda mu campaign era atutambuza bulungi kubanga mu bbanga lye lyabadde atukwatiridde era ekibiina kyasobola okuyingira parliament era tulina omubaka wa parliament mu parliament y'eggwanga. So tumwebaza nnyo mbw atutambuza bulungi, naye ye secretary general w'ekibiina kyaffe, ye muwandiisi waffe era akyaliwo akyaweereza obulungi. Kati budde buno twanjulidde eggwanga omukulembeze waffe omujja Honorable Kassiano Wadri, era kati ye coordinator waffe wa Alliance for National Transformation. Era ne batwanjulira oba ne twanjulira eggwanga omwogezi oba spokesperson ow'ekibiina ki Alliance for National Transformation, kubanga omukulembeze gwe twalina yatekinga ku by'ebyobufuzi ebyaliwo yasalawo okugenda ebbali asooka akola ebyobufuzi ebbali, era ne tumwebaza nnyo omulimu gwe yakola. Era kati leero twanjulidde eggwanga omwogezi w'ekibiina oba spokesperson nga ye omubaka ow'Hoima West ate yenze kwogera Ismail kubanga ojja kuba atwala okwogerera ekibiina kino ebbanga lino ngeri gyetunaaba tutambula. Era nze nenzikiriza omulimu guno si mulimu mwangu okwogerera ekibiina mu ggwanga ekiyimirira ku mirandira, ekiyimirira ku values, integrity, institutional building. Si kyangu kubanga eggwanga lino buli kimu kyonna kifudde, abantu baagala okutambula ku byewamangu na buli kimu, naye nzikiriza nga tukwatiraganamu wamu ne bannange tugenda tambuza ekibiina kino tukitambuze bulungi, era nja kubanga nkyogerera omumitendera ngeri ekibiina gye kitulambika okulaba nga tulambika eggwanga lyaffe. Era bannamawulire tubasabye tujja kubeera nga tubeera ne engagements nyingi nnyo okulaba nga twogera ebyo biki ebigenda mu maaso mu ggwanga lyaffe. So lunaku lwa leero twogedde ne ku nsonga nyingi nnyo ezigenda ng'abakulu bwe bazirambise, ensonga z'okutyoboola eddembe ly'obuntu mu ggwanga lyaffe, era tuzirambise bulungi ne twogera ku bakulembeze bannaffe mu bibiina ebirala abalinyiriddwa ku ddembe lyabwe, era gye n'omuntu ayongedde n'akitanya bulungi. Ensonga za Dr. Besigye ne tuzoogerako, ensonga za former Lord Mayor Erias Lukwago ne tuzoogerako, kubanga kooti n'abalamuzi bagamba agenda asobole okuweebwa obujjanjabi, era ffenna tukiraba ne bomulaba mu kooti, naye nga ebyo tebirespectingiddwa oba eddembe lye teriteddemu kitiibwa. Ebintu bwe bityo bye tugezaako okwogerako. Ne twogera ne ku nsonga ya Honorable Mwanga Kivumbi ayakwatibwa nga kooti emaze omuweereza bail, naye ne bamukwata up to now tetumanyi kubanga ne poliisi yavuddeyo neyegaana negamba temanyi waali. So ensonga ezifaanana bwe zityo ne tuzoogerako. Of course ne twogera ku nsonga za LOC1, ne twogera ne ku ebintu ebigenda maaso engeri abantu gye batambuzaamu akalu ka LOC1. Of course tukungubagidde bannaffe mu West Nile ne mu government olw'okuvibwako omuntu ow'amaanyi, omuntu omukulu abadde mukulembeze mu ggwanga lino, General Moses Ali. So ne tusaasira era ne tusaba Katonda amusonyiwe ebyo ebyamusobako asobole omuweereza ekiwumulo ekirungi. So generally of course twayogeddeko ku nsonga y'abamawulire. Ensonga tukimanyi bulungi, gundi ekitongole ekimu eky'amawulire ki Nation Media kyaggalwawo mu ngeri eyali emenywa amateeka, gye tutategeera oba omusango gwabwe gwali ki, kubanga ne gavumenti eyavaayo clearly okubuulira bannayuganda kiki kyennyini ekyagazaawo media house eyo. Ate nga ffenna tumanyi kitongole ekisasula emisolo mu ggwanga lino ate mingi, kitongole ekiwadde abaana baffe emirimu, kubanga mukimanyi bulungi mu ggwanga lino abaana baffe bali mu kubonaabona, tebalina mirimu, abo abasomye n'abatasomye. So bwe tubaawo ekitongole ekikwaniridde abaana baffe okubawa emirimu, ne tuvaayo ne tukiggala mu ngeri emenya amateeka, mu ngeri etyoboola eddembe ly'abannamawulire. So tukivumirira era tusaba gavumenti eveeyo, kubanga leero kiri ku Nation Media, enkya kigenda kuba ku media endala na buli kimu kyonna. Tuveeyo twogere ku bintu ebifaanaganye bwe bityo, ebityoboola eddembe ly'ebitongole bwe bityo, ebityoboola eddembe ly'abannamawulire, ebityoboola eddembe ly'abannayuganda okukola bizinesi n'abantu abalala bonna okujja okukolera bizinesi mu Uganda. So tusaba gavumenti ne tusaba n'abantu bonna bekikwatako okulaba ensonga ezikwata ku ggwanga ezifaananye bwe zityo tuzikwate ng'ekintu kikulu, tuleme zikwata ng'abantu abamala gakutambuza bizinesi zaffe oba kiosks. Lino ggwanga ate tulina oddikwata mu mitendera era banga tetyoboola oba temenya ddembe lyaffe ng'abannayuganda, kubanga ssemateeka ya Uganda etulambika bulungi mu buli kimu ng'eggwanga. So tubeebaziza nnyo, ate tusuubira okubanga tubayita wano okwengeejinga nammwe abannamawulire mu bbanga lyonna wenaabaawo byonna ebyetaagisizza. So ng'ekibiina tubeebaziza nnyo, ate tusaba tukolaganire wamu. Mwebale.